Hello conscious creators, Shamnali Gray here from Goddess Creations, coming to you on this lovely spring day. The sun is shining beautifully and the flowers, you might see them behind me, are coming up out of the ground. I'm speaking to you today about on part 8 of the Wheel of Life sequence, which is also the second part of the emotional life cycle. And last week I was sharing part of the basics in the emotional situation, what type of hormones affect your emotions, what type of emotions there are, and also how you are invited to allow yourself to feel your emotions and not put them away, and how they have been blocked over the years, over the centuries by society, and therefore how we have not been, as women, felt safe in expressing our emotions. Well, today is part 2, and today I'm going to continue speaking on emotions concerning the vulnerability that that we are invited to feel. Being emotional, as I said in the previous video, is something that has been frowned upon in the past. Don't be like that. What are you up to? You must be in your period. Oh, she must be sick. Giving her pills and drugs or whatever to suppress those emotions. And then there's the other side where, because we aren't or weren't allowed to express our emotions, and I'm not even talking about that far back in the past, but when we are not allowed to express our emotions, we then tend to overcompensate and actually push away our feminine energy, our feminine side. And that is a shame, because we are both. In our body we have the masculine and the feminine, and both are allowed to be. And as I'm speaking, I'm putting my hand on the lower part of my stomach or my womb space, just to keep connected with that energy. And I dare say that in the video, because that is what it is all about, this vulnerability. Hi, I can see you, Miriam. Dankjewel. Thank you for watching. So in this part of the emotional vulnerability, I'm inviting you to go just a little bit deeper. Now, you don't have to do it now, but I'm just taking you on this journey of awareness. Emotional vulnerability can be, as we may know, concerning the opposite gender, male versus female. It's so challenging for us, especially as I'm speaking to you, the woman that is working hard, the woman that is always trying to please someone else at the cost of herself, at the cost of her health, at the cost of her own peace of mind and body. Therefore, you may have a chronic illness, or you may have a disease that may be coming up. These are all signals. I've spoken about that in previous videos, where these signals are, these symptoms are signals as to your health. And I can feel it, my vulnerability is playing up now as I'm sharing this. Being vulnerable with your emotions takes a lot of courage. To open up to someone, or let's start there, to open up to yourself takes courage. How far do you dare to look within? Do you dare to let your emotions take you on that slide down into the unknown, where you might feel unsafe because it is unknown to you? Dark, challenging. Well, let's just take it a step lighter then. In the relationship with us as women, with the opposite gender, the male energy, the man, the masculine, we do tend to either want to fix him and put on the mother role, support him in all that he wants or does. If he says yes, we will say yes very easily, or if his yes is actually our no, we will think about it and see how we can adjust our no to his yes. Allowing our own personal opinions of things, our own emotions to come up, feels vulnerable, because we don't want to be pushed away or judged. We've had all of that in our past life or in our past lives. And so being courageous enough to allow your own feelings to come up, the sensitivity, vulnerability, sensuality. Often it is said that we women feel that we are too much. So what do? We bring our own huge light, which is something actually that we're most afraid of, our own light. Our huge light, we tend to dim or to hide, make smaller, to appease another. that's also blocking our emotions. Where actually we know deep down we are good enough, we are beautiful, we are strong. We know it deep down, but for some reason, often, it doesn't come up because we are protecting ourselves. Remember I said in previous videos, we are protecting ourselves behind our barriers of self-protection, the hardness, the blocking. It doesn't serve us, lovely sweethearts. It doesn't serve us. And I'm speaking from my own experience, as I have multiple sclerosis, and I know that that is my barrier to protect me from the outside world. And yet it doesn't serve me, because for me having that is also a sign of me feeling judged and not voicing my truth and hiding because I feel scared of how I will be treated or reacted to in the outside world. But here it is. Is that real? Are we going to end up burnt on the stake? And I didn't even know I was going to go down this road, but what is the benefit of holding on to that fear that stops you being the most beautiful, juicy, glorious you that you actually really are? What is the benefit of keeping yourself small, hiding your true emotions, even if they are what people might call ugly emotions? Anger, grief, hiding that, swallowing that. I've said it before in other videos. Hiding that makes it stick in your body. And when we are dealing with the opposite sex, we tend to make things pretty because we want to please someone. Therefore, we might end up in situations that don't serve us, or that will come back at us like a whiplash. You can end up in a relationship that is unsafe for you. Why? Because you weren't really listening to your truth, your true core. I'm not saying it is so, I'm just saying it could be so. And so when you are in a relationship, whether it be a friendship relationship or a platonic relationship or a sexual relationship, key is to be very true to your truth. Come back to your truth. And that takes courage, because when you speak your truth, when you ask or say what it is that you really mean or feel or want, you're very naked, bloat, open, vulnerable, like a rose, like a flower, open. That vulnerability is where our beauty lies. And it's not necessarily that we make... I hope I'm back. My internet got cut off, but I'm just coming back to you now saying that... I can't remember where I was. I was so in flow and then the internet connection got broken. But our vulnerability, our openness, our beauty is in the vulnerability. And finding what it is that we